Here is the final look of my beloved Bridgerton dress. Here is the result of the crochet turtleneck, and oh my gosh, you guys, it's so cute! I was this close to just saying, you know what, I'm not gonna make this. I don't know how to make a jacket. I retried this 6 to 7 times. This came out so cute. This is probably my favorite sweater I've ever made. Like, if we're being completely honest here. 2024 came and went faster than any other year I've ever experienced. Even though it's currently the beginning of January, I still feel like I'm mentally in March 2024. It's really bad. But throughout 2024, I've worked on project after project, improving my skills one stitch at a time. I've made my fair share of mistakes, making me feel like it was time for me to pack it up and start something new. I've learned new skills that made my heart flutter in excitement, and I got to share all of these experiences, all these challenges, thoughts, and ideas, all with you. Happy New Year, everyone! We've officially made it to 2025, and that is so exciting. Before I show you everything that I made in 2024, I just want to sincerely express my gratitude for everyone who's been sticking along with me throughout this entire journey, and to those who just recently tagged along. It's hard to express just how thankful and happy I am that you've stuck with me and given me a chance. I still have so much that I need to improve on and so much that I want to express with you all, and you being here has really helped pushed me to work harder and to build more confidence in my art, even though there were tons of times where I made mistakes and I felt like I was failing backwards rather than forwards. I didn't post as much as I wanted to in 2024 due to some projects taking longer than I thought, some mental blocks that I had to deal with, but in 2025, I want to post more, I want to do more streams, I want to just create more, share more ideas with you, and just interact with you all more. I feel like I was pretty lacking in 2024 in that area, but 2025 is a new year, so that means we can take our baby steps to improve in every area that we want to improve in. With all that said, let's look at everything I made in 2024. So there are some pieces that I don't have on hand because I gave them to either my family members, my friends, or I sold some on Depop, or I ended up donating them. The first category I'm gonna start with is the one that I made the most of this year, and that is sweaters and cardigans. The first sweater I'm gonna show is the one that I'm wearing, and it's this swirl sweater that I made. It is based off of the sweater from Pachamama, I think. I first saw the sweater online and I just thought it was the cutest sweater. It was perfect for my style. I knew I was gonna wear this a whole bunch, but I couldn't find it anywhere, so I knew that the only way I would actually be able to have it is if I made it, and I did. Finding the yarn in this specific color that's chunky and a good fiber was really, really difficult, so I ended up having to use acrylic, even though I really wanted this to be a 100% wool sweater. But the acrylic is really nice. It's only slightly itchy, and it isn't breathable, but during the winter time it's like perfect, or if I'm wearing this inside. And then the hardest part for this sweater was the swirl right here. At first I was gonna give up on making this sweater, but I really took my time again to make the swirl, and it's not perfect, but I am pretty happy with this result because the first result that I had was not it. Yeah, in the end I am really, really happy with how this sweater came out. I did the graph with duplicate stitching, and I still have to work on my duplicate stitching, but it's better than it has ever been before. And overall, this is one of my favorite pieces I made in 2024. The next piece I made is this star and moon sweater. I don't have it on me because I ended up selling it recently. This was the first piece I made this year, and I said it was my dream sweater. I was so excited to make it, but I did end up selling it recently because one, it didn't come out the way that I wanted to, and the more I wore it, the more I realized that I don't really like it. And two, I'm planning on making a better version of that, because now that I've done this sweater that I'm wearing now, this has really given me the confidence to make any type of sweater that I want to, and I feel like I can remake this sweater a lot better. So I was like, I'm okay with giving it up because I know I'm gonna make a better version of it. The next piece I made is this cardigan, and if you can see, I didn't weave in the ends yet, mainly because I ended up not liking this as much as I thought I would. I thought it would have been cool to just use up all of the chunky yarn that I had in my closet. The sweater is cute, but I feel like the colors could have been better. It's just not my favorite, and I feel like I'm either gonna donate it or just take it apart to reuse the yarn for something else. I have been selling my pieces on Depop, the ones that I just haven't been wearing, so if you're interested, just let me know and I'll post it on there. I'll make sure to weave in everything and make sure it's good. But yeah, it's not my favorite, but you know, you've got to make pieces that aren't your favorite to get to the ones that are your favorite. The next piece I made recently, and it has become one of my favorites, is this granny square scrap yarn green sweater. This, I was so scared to make this because I had a whole bunch of yarn and I knew that I wanted to make a granny square sweater, but I was just unsure with how the yarn was going to go with one another. But I recently realized that all of the projects that I'm scared of, but I do it anyway, and I have no plan, like I have a plan, but not a huge plan, those are the projects that come out the best for me. My maxi skirts, this one here, my purple dress that I made, I think last year, they've all come out perfect, and they're all ones that have pushed my creativity. They terrified me because I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of time for something to not come out good, but they came out perfectly, and so did this. The insides pop out a little bit, if you can see right here how it's kind of rounded, but that's only because I used a chunky yarn to start with. If I didn't do that, it would have been perfect. If you make something like this, just make sure that the yarn weights stay relatively the same. The next piece I made is for one of my color challenges, and this is an orange 70s themed sweater vest. I used granny squares for the entire thing, and for the back is just one large granny square with the African flower. I think this is so cute. I am selling this on Depop just because I don't wear it, but I think this is so this came out amazing to me. And the front is just basic granny squares. If I remember correctly, I think I wanted to do the entire thing with the African flowers, but the flower ended up being pretty big just for the flower portion. So that's why I decided to just do basic granny squares. But yeah, I think this is really cute and I'm happy with how it came out. This next piece I made for my spring crochet video, and it's this huge, beautiful sakura themed poncho. This is the first time I ever made a poncho, and it's gigantic. I love the colors. I added some sparkly yarn to the sakura in the middle, and it just makes it very, very pretty and perfect for the springtime, especially during spring weather when it's really chilly but not super chilly, where you have to have a thick jacket on. It's just perfect to put on a poncho. The hood did come out huge. It's so big, but I think it adds character to it, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. This next piece is this crochet turtleneck, and I am so happy with how this turned out. The only issue that I have with it is just the turtleneck is just slightly off, but when I fold it outwards, it's perfectly fine to me. I can style this so many ways, and I feel like it would have been the perfect turtleneck if I used a smaller hook. I think I used a 3mm hook for this, I could be wrong, but if I used maybe a 2mm and then weight 1 fingering yarn, this would have been perfect. It's already perfect to me now, but it would have been extra perfect if I used smaller yarn. But if I used smaller yarn, this would have taken forever to make. This next piece I made is this scrap yarn cardigan, and it was supposed to be a replica of the Unif cardigan. The colors were perfectly matched, and I was surprised that I had this exact colors in my closet. But the only thing is, around this time, I didn't really practice using a different hook size to make the project look smaller. And this entire thing was made with weight 4 yarn, but if you see the difference between the actual Unif cardigan and then mine, you can see that mine is a lot thicker and longer and oversized, but I did want it to look more like the Unif one. I have the pattern written down. I can make it again. All I need to do is get all of the colors and the exact shades. Do I remember the brands? No. Do I really want to buy a whole bunch of new yarn? No, but I do really want a cardigan that I would wear. And I usually wear this when I'm cold and I just throw it on. It's very chunky. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not, but we'll think about it. This next piece that I don't really like is this granny square sweater. And again, this is the same time period where I was just using a 5mm hook for everything and just hoping that it comes out to the size that I want, and when it doesn't, I get sad. But yeah, I don't really like how this one came out. I was trying to make a sweater based off of this sweater here because I thought this was really cute, and I wanted to use the scrap yarn that was in my closet, but the color combos is just not my favorite. The way that it fits on me is just not my favorite. The whole thing is just not my favorite. I think I'm either gonna donate it or just take the yarn out and keep it for something else. This next piece is this pumpkin sweater I made. I am not really happy with how the pumpkin came out in the middle. I made this one before this duplicate stitch graph, and I feel like this was getting me ready for this one. But this was the first time that I made a sweater where I connected the front and back panels and then attached my needles to work on the sleeve downwards, and it came out amazing. I was really happy, and I feel like from now on I'm just gonna make all my sweaters in that way, unless it's a very intricate type of sweater. This next piece I made recently, and it is this granny square zip up hoodie. I'm so happy with this because I was gonna quit. Like I was making all of the granny squares and I was like, okay, this is gonna be easy, no big deal. And then once I finished all the granny squares, I was like, okay, it's time to do the challenging part, which is the zipper. And I was really scared, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to challenge myself today. Like, I feel like I should just do something easier, but you just push through. You have to challenge yourself, because if you don't challenge yourself, you're going to be stuck where you are. And then if you're stuck where you are, you're not going to grow. And if you don't grow, it is what it is, you know? But I did it. I challenged myself. I know how to attach a zipper. I know how to make a zip up hoodie. So yeah, I'm happy with this one. This next sweater I made is this recreation from Winx Club, and I think this turned out really, really well. The duplicate stitched hearts came out so beautifully. I did a new technique for this where I worked from the bottom up in the round, and then I separated both sides to make it so that it looks more accurate to the picture, because at first I was gonna do a raglan where I just worked top to bottom, but the sweater she's wearing is not a raglan, it's just a sweater with the sleeve seam on the side. But it was so close to the armpits that I was afraid it just was gonna fit awkwardly. It kind of does fit awkwardly, just a tiny bit, but it's not to the point where it's a big deal. And I also feel like this was the first time I did tubular cast off, which makes the ribbing more stretchy essentially. And I overall am happy with how it came out. This next piece I made that I'm so happy with. It's so cozy and warm and pretty and perfect for the summertime. And it's this rainbow hexagon cardigan. I first made a hexagon cardigan, I think last year, for my green crochet challenge, and I told myself that I wanted to make a whole bunch of hexagon cardigans, and I finally made another one. And I just want to make so many more. Like they're really easy to make. You can do whatever you want while you make them, and you can do an array of different color designs and stuff, and it's just really, really, really pretty, and I love it so much. And I'm gonna wear this forever and ever. The last sweater that I have is this cable knit pink sweater. I went through some of my old videos and I realized that for my first video of 2024, I was trying to make a cable knit exactly like this but in gray, and I wanted it to be a little bit more oversized and a little bit more chunky. But it's funny how I started the year trying to make this, and then this was the last project I made for the year. But yeah, it came out really cute. The cables are gorgeous. They just take forever. I feel like cable stitches are such a trick. Like, they look so pretty and you're like, oh, they're so easy to do. I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna make a whole sweater, or I'm gonna make a scarf or a hat, whatever. And halfway through you're like, oh my gosh, they lied to me. But the result is always so, so, so gorgeous, and I love it so much. The next category is for tops. The first top that I have to show you is this raglan top that I made for my knitting an entire outfit video. I am so happy with how this came out. This taught me how to do a raglan perfectly for my body. I did duplicate stitching for the flower in the middle, and this is just so cute. The only thing I don't like is how the bottom curls. I feel like I might do a longer ribbing next time, just so it won't curl so much, but I also think it's curling because it is made with acrylic yarn. Maybe it'll be different if I use a different fiber. Like, maybe if I made this but with 100% cotton, it would be different. I also didn't block it, did I? I don't think I blocked it, so that could be another issue. If I did, then oh well. This next piece I made is based off of Kiara's top from Outer Banks. This came out perfectly. The only issue is just I should have used smaller yarn and a smaller hook size so it can be more accurate to the one that she wears. But overall, this is just a really cute top, and I did buy yarn to remake it. I just haven't gotten to it yet, so hopefully I can do that. I am thinking of doing a video where I recreate some of my recreations, because there's some recreations that I love, but I just feel like I can do like way better. Just let me know if you want me to do that. The next top that I made is another recreation, and it's this top that Nicole wears on The Summer I Turned Pretty. The same issue with this, I should have used a smaller hook size, maybe smaller yarn. I think I did buy some yarn to redo this as well. I just haven't gotten to it again, and I think this would be really, really cute. When I put it on and I think I curled it inwards, I really liked how it looked, and it would definitely be a top I'd wear in the summertime. So I do want to take the time out to remake this so I can actually wear it. The biggest thing with me is that I want to make pieces that I can actually use and wear, so that like some of the pieces that I've been making have been helping my skills and everything, but while grabbing everything out of the closet, I realized that some of these pieces I'm just not gonna wear. And I feel like in 2025, I wanna make pieces that I genuinely want to wear and incorporate in my own style and my own wardrobe. This next top is this gingham top I made for my red crochet video. This is so cute, you guys. This took me, I restarted this like I don't even know how many times, but I'm glad I pushed through and made it. The top section is different from the bottom section. Like, you can see the stitching more up there than in the bottom, and I need to watch the video to see how exactly I made it, so that the next time I want to make a top like this, I can make it so the bottom looks exactly like the top and the stitches isn't popping out the way that it does on this side. Like, you can clearly see the difference. But besides that, it came out really, really cute, and I really love this. The last piece that I made, which I was kind of happy about, but not really, is this star tube top thing I made. This was based off of an outfit from Totally Spies. I think I made it okay. I added some elastic to the top so it can stay on, which taught me a lot, and I was really happy that I did that. But the colors is just not that great put together. Like, I feel like I should have added an outline around the star so that you can see it a lot better, because it just doesn't look good. And then I blocked it, and it's just I really don't like it. The next category I have is for bottoms. So the first bottom I'm gonna start with is the piece that matches with that bandeau top I just showed you, which again, same issue, the color of the stars just doesn't go well with the color of the background, unless I would have added an outline to each of the stars, which I didn't think about until after. This is supposed to be a sarong that you'll put over like your bikini and stuff. I also feel like I could have done better with the placement of the stars. Like, it's just, I don't like it. I really don't like it. The next piece I made is this maxi skirt. It's either a maxi or a midi. I need to try it on again, but this is supposed to match with the raglan flower top that I made. It's made with the exact same yarn as the flower in the middle, and this came out so beautifully. I think this was my first time knitting a maxi skirt. I added some elastic to the top so that it can fit properly on my body, and then I just worked in the round until it got to the length I wanted, and then ended it with some ribbing so that it won't curl, but the ribbing curls anyway, so that was just kind of pointless. I really want to make this skirt here from Unif. I feel like I can use this pattern to make that, and it would be chef's kiss so beautiful, and I feel like that's a project that I really want to do this year. The last bottom that I made are these pants based off of Demon Slayer. This was the first time I ever knitted pants, and it was interesting. I had an easy time making them, but at the same time, I was kind of scared of how they would turn out. The legs came out beautifully. I feel like the only issue is just this part right here. I need to make it so that the ribbing part fits perfectly, and then the part where the inseam is fits perfectly. The legs fit perfect. It's just kind of awkward on the top. Like, I need to work on that. But besides that, the pattern came out pretty. I think it represents Giyu pretty well, and I also like the yarn. It's very comfortable and perfect for just chilling inside. But yeah, I would love to try and master how to make knit pants, and if I do, I would definitely make a tutorial for you guys. The next category is for sets and dresses. The first set that I have, which is not really a set right now because I don't know where the underwear part is based off of the bikini Lucy Gray wears in the Hunger Games. This was very interesting to learn how to make. I had fun doing some reverse engineering with it, but I feel like at the same time I was really struggling and just didn't want to do it at the same time. So it was a very conflicting project, but it turned out really well. It fits perfectly. I did want to line the inside, but lining it wasn't working out the way that I intended it, just because I think the fabric wasn't the right color, and I just wasn't doing it right with the sewing machine. But overall, I think it came out really cute as my first bikini. The next set that I made is this Fire Nation outfit that Katara wears in Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I have the bottoms, which is all sewed together. I have the crochet pants that are 2 different shades because I ran out of the color. And then this part here where it has these little swirls that is on the one that she wears. And then this 3rd layer here. And then I also have the matching top to go with it. Pretty interesting to figure out how to make. I feel like this would be perfect for like some sort of anime con, or maybe DreamCon if I ever go. But I am really happy that I took the time to figure out how to make this and to kind of like be creative, like, okay, how am I gonna replicate this with knitting and crochet, you know? It turned out pretty cool and I am happy with it. The last piece in this category is actually a dress, and it's this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dress that I made inspired by Kate's dress in Bridgerton. I can't express how much pain I went through making this dress. I first made the bottom layer right here, which took ages. By the way, this cotton yarn that I used, I think I doubled the yarn. So, so, so beautiful, so gorgeous, very soft. It's probably one of my favorite yarns of all time. I don't know if they sell them anymore though, I have to check. And then after I finished that long set right here, I did another layer just as a mesh layer, but with mohair. In my head, I was like, okay, this is only gonna take a day because it's super spaced out and I'm using the biggest needles possible. No. It did not take a day. Didn't even take 3 days. I feel like it took a whole week to make. Through all that hard work and effort came a gorgeous, gorgeous dress that I truly love, and I will never ever let go of this. It's so, so pretty. I want to go to a ball just so I can wear this. This is probably one of the best projects I made this year. It's so, so, so pretty, and I'm very, very happy with it. This next category is for accessories. So I'm first gonna start with hats. I have this beanie that I made during the fall time. It's just a magic circle beanie with some ear flaps and tassels. I feel like this could have been better. I used a pretty rigid yarn. I just feel like it could have been better, but it's perfect for the fall time. I just don't know if I'm gonna ever wear it. This next piece is this little fox ear warmer thing that I made. I think it's just the cutest thing ever. It's really, really easy and simple to make, and yeah, I don't have much to say about it, but it is perfect for the fall time and works well with a lot of outfits. This next hat is probably the hat that I've worn the most since I've made it. It's this newsboy cap, and oh my gosh, you guys, I wear this hat to death. The only thing I don't like is that sometimes like this part in the middle pokes out, and I just don't know how to fix it, but this goes with all of my outfits. It's so cute. I love the buttons in the middle and like this little fake braid thing. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I want to make more of these in different colors because it's really, really cute. I did make this with the same pattern, but instead of, what did I use here? I think I used half double crochet or single crochet. I really don't remember, but this one is double crochet. This is perfect. It's just a little bit too bulky for the look I was going for, which I got perfectly with this one, but I still really love this hat, and it's really, really cute and perfect with any outfit. The last two hats that I made are these cat beanies. I knitted these in the round. They were really, really, really easy to make. I just made the ribbing and then worked up with stockinette stitch and then casted off so that as I'm casting off, it closes up, and then added the little braids on the bottom, and they were done. Very simple, very easy, very cute. Next, I have bags. So the first bag I have is this My Melody bag that I made. This one was very, very experimental. I feel like I could have placed the button somewhere better so that it's not like pulling in like this, but this was very cute. I really like how it turned out. There's a bunch of different elements to this, including a mirror holder where the mirror actually fell out right before I was recording this. I just didn't put it back in. I also really like the bag straps, and overall I think it's really cute. The next piece is this black shoulder bag. This is so, so, so cute, guys. This goes with any outfit. I also made a little sakura pouch, but that fell off. A lot of things fall off of my accessories, but this is literally so, so perfect. I also lined the inside with just some black fabric, and I also added this little clasp to keep it closed, and it just came out really cute. This next bag is a knitted tote bag that I made during my knitting entire outfit video. Again, this is really, really simple, just work in the round. And then for this part right here, I started with stockinette and then just worked the stockinette together so it makes kind of like a ribbing for the bag, and then just worked down the stockinette and then closed it off on the bottom, and then attached the strap that was stockinette stitch as well. This next bag is based off of Coraline. I have two different sides to it. This side doesn't have any of these like purplish parts, and I feel like this side is a lot better. I added these purple parts here to make it more accurate to the little swirl she walks through in the movie, but it just doesn't look that great compared to this side, which is a lot more cleaner than just a basic strap with the same colors and then some ruffles on both sides of the strap as well as the bag. And overall, this came out really cute. I do want to line it eventually so that it's more usable. I don't like using my crochet bags unless it's lined, so I want to do that so I can get more use out of it or sell it, whatever I want to do. Another core line bag that I made is this one right here. I did some star granny squares and swirl granny squares, and then I just added some black buttons to represent the button eyes in the Coraline movie. Even though this is not the exact same color dragonfly, I added this and just to give it some more Coraline feel. I also made this jumping mice ball thing to attach and some black ribbing. And this came out really, really cute. Again, I do want to line this bag so I can use it. I did make the strap a bit too long, so I just tied it on the top to make it the perfect size. And it's really cute. It's not super small, but it's small enough to just have like a cute little bag to make your outfit pop. This next bag is one of my favorites, and it's this strawberry tote bag I made for my red crochet video. All it is just 3 basic granny squares, and then you attach these crochet strawberries and then just add ruffles to the sides and a nice little strap, and also these little, I am all over the place with this bag right now, it keeps flopping everywhere, and these little leaf ties. They untied a little bit, but you see the picture. I do want to line this again. There's like one more bag that I need to line, but I just try to avoid the sewing machine at all times. But hopefully this year I get out of that habit and start using the sewing machine, because I feel like I'm scared of it right now, but the second I get on it and start making things, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been missing out. I'm never buying clothes again. This last bag that I didn't line is this pumpkin bag I made for the fall time. I do like how this came out. This is a pumpkin stitch, but in a granny square form, but I just don't like that the sides stick out. I wonder if I start the granny square like with the regular granny square for like 2 to 3 rows and then do the popcorn stitch, it would turn out a lot better. But overall, this pumpkin bag is really, really cute, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. This next bag that is lined, and every time I wear it I get so many compliments, is this star bag that is ocean themed. I love how creative this bag is. I used a whole bunch of different scrap yarns for this. I added some starfish, I added a little jellyfish keychain on the side, and I also made some charms for it as well, which is really, really cute. I also added some beads, some pearl beads, and some ribbon just to add more elements to it. And of course, it's lined, so you know I was using it. On the inside, I made this little whale pouch, which is really cute. I saved my favorite bag for last, and it is this messenger bag that I made. I don't think I can express how much I use this bag. I think I showed this in my last video, but this bag, I need to redo the clasp because I've used it so much that it's just falling apart. I lined it as well. This bag, man, this is my favorite bag that I've ever made. I don't really know why. I feel like the color is just perfect for my style. I just added a whole bunch of little patches and stuff that really represents me, kind of, sort of. They're just cute. I don't know, I just use this bag for everything. It's just my go-to bag. Like, if I don't want to wear my small purse, I'm like, oh, I'll just grab this bag. I'll just throw everything in here, and it works. So we're still in the accessory category, but now it's more like miscellaneous accessories. The first one I have to show is this fall themed scarf. It's very long, very soft, very, very easy to make. All you do is just put granny squares together and you're done. Also, you just add some tassels if you want on the bottoms, but this is very, very beautiful, very easy and cute to make, and perfect for the fall time. This last scarf that I made is inspired by Mikasa from Attack on Titan. It's this cable knit scarf because she always wears a red scarf, and I wanted to do something with that, but I could have easily just made a basic red scarf, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be like more challenging, so I decided to do a cable knit scarf, but I did some heart cables in the middle so that it represents her love for Aaron and stuff, because he's the one that gave her the scarf, and I feel like adding that element just really made it a scarf that represents Mikasa. So this is my favorite scarf. I really love how it came out. It took forever because of course it's cables, but if someone asked me to do this again, I would. Like, it's so gorgeous. I believe it's 100% wool. It's not itchy in the slightest, and I really love this scarf, you guys. Like, this is one of my top pieces of the year. The next pieces I have are gloves. So I have these granny square gloves, very easy to make. You just make 2 granny squares for each glove and then add ribbing to the top, the bottom, and the thumb hole. And yeah, they're very easy. You can do an array of different colors, and they're just so cute and simple. The next set of gloves I've made are these knitted mushroom gloves. I love how these turned out, you guys. They're so cute. They're perfect for my style. They're perfect for fall time. And the duplicate stitching came out really well, but they're so cute. They fit perfectly. They're very easy to make. You just do ribbing, stockinette, ribbing, attach on the sides, add the mushrooms, and you're done. Very easy, very simple. The last set of gloves that I made are these Coraline gloves. I was this close to making the actual Coraline gloves, but I just didn't. I was gonna do the fingers, but I didn't because I wanted the gloves to be where I could wear them and do things with my fingers. Like if I wanted to type, if I wanted to use my phone, if I wanted to grab something without them messing up the gloves, I can do that. So that's why I made them fingerless. Plus, I am more inclined to wear gloves if they're fingerless. They're just cuter to me. The next items I have are eyeglass pouches, and this one is one that I use all the time. I am so glad I made this project. I love when I make projects that are so useful to me that I can use every single day, and this is one of them. I added a little Totoro graph to the top, and I just added these leaves to the bottom of the drawstring so that it just works well with the pouch. I also made another one with mushrooms for these small glasses that I have here. These are the glasses here. So very cute. I love them. This I didn't add to any video. I was just trying to test out a pattern, but I attempted to make a belt. I just used this really small yarn and then a really basic pattern from Pinterest, and I just worked it until it was long enough to my liking. I added this little belt buckle thing, and then I made a belt. It did not look that great. The graph came out cute, but when I'm wearing it, it kind of stretches out like this. And I just don't like it that much. Like I feel like this could be executed better. I also made these little bookmarks right here. So this one right here, I made based off of Beauty and the Beast. I made this one specifically for my Beauty and the Beast book that I have on my desk. And I think it came out very beautifully. I love how the rose came out. And then I added this little charm from Joann's that works perfectly with the theme of it. And then just attached it to this little bookmark holder thing. And then this one is based off of a manga called Hanakimi. It's just a sakura with a little charm with pink flowers and beads. But I think that the sakura didn't come out as good as it could have. But I still have been using it. It really just sits on the book for added decoration. But I think tiny elements like this in your room or even just on your bookshelf, it really adds uniqueness. I always say that it adds uniqueness to it. It's very unique. But I mean, it is unique, you know, it's really pretty and just adds more characterization to your room and your bookshelf. I don't know if characterization is the best word, but yeah. I've been talking for almost an hour now and my mouth is like, please. So if I say things that just don't make sense, I don't talk a lot in real life. Like, this is the most I'm probably gonna talk all day. The last pieces that I have for my accessories category are my ties. I made a whole bunch of ties. I made this basic red one. I have a basic black one as well. This gradient one is really cute. This probably is my least favorite one just because it's very rigid and stiff, but this green one, it does have a really nice texture to it. This one I made based off of Coraline, and I just decorated it with a bunch of buttons, stars, and swirls, and I think it's really cute. This one here is my favorite tie out of all of them. I do wear this one a lot, which is why I don't have it with me. I don't know, I've been cleaning out my closet recently, and I've been changing up where I place things. I feel like it's just in a drawer that I didn't look through, but yeah, I really love how this one looks. I love the buttons. I love how the brown and the green work perfectly together, and it works perfectly for my style, and I really love it. The last category I have for everything that I made is home decor. So I'm first gonna start with this plant pot right here. I wanted to use up my scrap yarn, and what perfect way to do it than to make a plant pot. I've been recently playing around with it and it just doesn't stay up. I'll show you in a second. Here's the plant cover. I think it's really cute and it brings more color to the room. The only thing is that it tends to droop downwards, and if it wasn't for these stems right here holding this up, if you can see right here, it would just fall down. Throughout time, it's been getting looser and looser, and I feel like I should probably just make a new one. I do like this, and if the stems are holding it up, from a distance, it's not looking that bad. So, yeah. This next piece I made is this pillow cover. So I did two different sides for them. This side right here is just orange, green, and brown. And then this side is green and orange. This is not my favorite side. I thought it was gonna be my favorite side, but then after I did this side and I was like, oh yeah, I like this side a lot better. It's very cute. This pillow I got from IKEA when we first moved here in 2020, and it's just been sitting collecting dust. And then when I was making my home decor, I was like, let me spice this pillow up so I can actually use it. And now I use it a lot. I set it in my papasan and I always put it on my back when I'm sitting there, and I love it. Another pillow that I spiced up is this pillow I got from Target, and I just added these granny square daisies to it on this side and on this side, and I think it's really, really cute. But if I were to redo this, I'd probably add more green and black and brown to it, but this was with scrap yarn, I think, so I think it came out pretty good with what I was using. And I love how these daisy granny squares come out. The only thing is just that they take a very, very long time to do. Like, I wanted to make a blanket. I think that's what it was. I wanted to make a blanket at first, but it was just taking so long, so I decided to just make a pillow cover instead. This next piece I made is this celestial blanket. I did some star granny squares, moon and sun granny squares, and I really like how the granny squares turned out, but after putting it together, it's just a little bit too flimsy for me. But I do feel like if it was a lot bigger, I would have liked it a lot more. I love the colors that I chose. I just feel like either it could have been bigger or I could have used a better yarn for this. This next piece is a plushie I made for my anime challenge. This was incredibly simple to make. Very, very cute. I wanted the ears to stand up more, but I think I messed up putting them on the sides. But I still really love him, and so cute. Very, very cute. There's three pieces that I don't have with me right now. The first piece is this kuromi rug. This rug probably took some of my lifespan, if we're being honest. It took me forever to make. I think I did 630 granny squares for this project, and then I had to put them all together. And no, I did not weave in the ends afterwards. That was just too much. I recently gave this to my mom and she's been using it as a blanket, so that's why I don't have it right now. But I think if you have a nice graph that you want to turn into a rug, I think this is the perfect project. It does just take a very, very long time to do, but it does come out so, so beautifully. The next two pieces I made are tapestries to hold my jewelry. One is currently in my bathroom right now, and the other one is in storage because I have yet to go through stores to take it out, but I am gonna put it back where I originally had it in my room. I just need to put some fall decorations away before I do that. But yeah, I really like how these came out. You can make any type of graph you want and just put it on the wall, and my Gigi one is holding most of my jewelry right now in the bathroom, and I think it's just perfect for space. And yeah, I really like it. I love Ghibli so much, and it just brings more Ghibli into the house. I can never have enough Ghibli in my apartment, and hopefully in 2025 I make more Ghibli stuff. Maybe that's a hint for a Ghibli inspired video in the future, maybe. The last piece I have to show is this single crochet rug that I made for my room. I am really happy with how this came out. I don't remember what the stitch is called, but I know that I worked in between each single crochet so that it doesn't look like your normal single crochet. It just looks very beautiful. This was a scrap yarn project, so eventually it was turning into something completely different. So this is my least favorite side, probably because I used this yarn right here. If I had more of this yarn, look how cute this is. I feel like if the whole rug was this color, it would be so beautiful. The other cool thing about it is like making crochet rugs, especially if you don't have like another layer on it, it could also be used as a blanket. So you can use them for whatever you want. Like sometimes you can have it on the floor for a rug, and if you don't want that, you can just go ahead and wash it and then throw it on the couch as a blanket, you know? But that is everything I made in 2024. Please let me know which ones you liked, which ones you didn't like. And I am just so happy with everything that I made. Even the pieces that I didn't like, they still taught me skills that I used for other projects that made them a lot better. I didn't make as many pieces as I did last year, which I think is a good thing because I do want to be more mindful of the pieces I make so that I get more use out of them. It's not wasteful. I'm incorporating them in all of my outfits, and I just want to be really happy with the pieces I make from now on in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!